Okay.
So we have the biggest certificate in PMI world, Félicien cleared portfolio management today. It started on 5th of January. The class of my first batch of this year started on 5th of January, and the class ended on 23rd of March. And drum rolls, please. Today it is 23rd of April and is a certified portfolio manager. I'm extremely proud with I still remember the multiple first discussion we started, how we moved it when you went towards the PGMP and things like that. And from there, now we are doing this thing. I'm really proud of you, my friend. The way you moved towards it, it was awesome. And the scores, if I just show the score of Lycian, the scores are so beautiful that they are worth sharing. Okay. So strategy above target, portfolio risk management above target, governance above target, communication. So everything is above target. Listen, you are above target. So congratulations, Mr.
Thank you,
Sam.
sir.
If
It's
you
too
want,
kind. Thank you very much.
yes, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, first of all, big congratulations to Mr. Felician.
Thank
As
you.
you know, it was our first batch, so we structured it in very much detailed. We had 20 classes on third edition plus fourth edition. Then we covered all the questions in the coaching calls. We had 17 coaching calls in which we covered each and every question, because as we know that this was the biggest certification, and I am very happy and proud to see the result that Mr. Felician got. This is actually our target, to pass everything with above target. As we always say, the purpose is not only to pass the exam but to also understand the concepts so that we can actually practice them in the real world. And I think the score depicts everything what you have just shown. So big congratulations to Mr. Felician. And now you can share your journey, how we started from the application, then we resubmitted it, everything in your own words.
Well, I mean, let's say, first of all, I have to give you all the credit, Mr. Ame and yourself. I have to give you all the credit because from the exam about 2 or 3 hours ago, it was very, I would say, similar to everything that you taught us. Basically, that's what it was. So we started the court work, the third edition, how am I going to say this? Uh, knowledge area by knowledge area. And then you give us the magic grade, the chapter-wise questions, and then we all had access to the simulators for extra practice. Basically, the practice is what got me through. The practices from the chapter-wise as well as the mock exam on the simulator. That's it. And like I text you just out of the exam room, it was, I'm going to say 90, 95% similar to everything that is in your exam, in your preparation materials. Some of the questions exactly the same questions. So having done the work in, I would say in class, chapter-wise and mock, I remembered the keyword, the answers. I just chose and moved on. And then I don't know. You did say the exam has to be finished in about three hours. That's exactly what happened. I had 99 minutes left to spare, and I started going through about 20 questions that I flagged. And as I was changing too many answers, I told myself, I can mess this up. I might as well just leave it as it is instead of changing too many answers and compromise everything. So I just submitted with about 1 hour to go. So
Mhm.
1 hour to go.
Mm.
So, and then I got congratulations. I was just kind of relieved.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank
that
you.
that congratulation is always worth it when you
Thank you
get
so much.
finally a congratulation, okay, that you have done it. That is something always worth to look for it, and something you have worked for last 3 months. Okay, let's walk into Mr. Sami. The application difference between portfolio, and most of the people who are sitting in the class right now, they are our PGMPs, and so is Felician.
Mhm.
How difference this is from PGMP, the application specifically application, Mr. Sami?
So the first difference is that in this portfolio, we have to write 3000 words. So currently, first we write the overall portfolio experience, then you have 5 experience summaries. Like all the 5 domains that you just you have shown in your result card, you have to write strategic alignment, governance, communication, stakeholder, and so on. So that is the first difference. And the pattern and the procedure once you will submit it is similar to the PGMP. You will first submit the application. Once only it is accepted, then you have to make the payment. Then it will go in the panel review. Once your panel review is passed, then only you are eligible to sit in the exam. This is what happens with all the PGMPs and also for the all portfolios. So for the application part, it's tough surely because this is 50% of the certification, as you all know, and also the prerequisite to sit in the exam. So the application part is tough, and the still the positive point I would say in portfolio is that if you write your application really good by understanding the concepts, it really helps to understand the complete chapter of that domain.
Okay. But we also have a business area in the part of like when you open the portfolio application.
Yeah, the first part, overall business experience, which has to be 96 months.
Yeah, that is something that's a very interesting thing
Difference. You're
for
correct.
everyone who is thinking to apply for the portfolio management. The first thing is straightforward, the business one, right? Then the other thing. So that becomes a very big difference from the
Right.
PGMP application, that you also have to, okay, the domains are there, you have to give your personal experience, and then you have to give the business experience. So that becomes a very interesting thing. And then again, like I was watching one of the video and the author was saying that you can use chat GPT to fill the application. I was smiling. I was saying how many people have come to us with the rejected application because they use AI. This is a very important thing for everyone who is doing PGMP, PfMP, even for PMP, if I put into that. Application must be according to your own experience. They are not interested in the quick, because they can run the AI check and then you will have a problem, right? And this is very important, the as application. Okay. So Felician, how important these question answers, these coaching calls were for you for the exam?
Uh, I would say I get a little bit emotional because I'm trying to find the right word. Um, let's say it is exactly what we studied. So chapter-wise, question and answers, some of the questions were exactly the same. And then pick up the keywords. And this exam, I would say, is slightly different from PGMP because the question were too much, 2, 3, 4 liners. And then I had about 6 mathematical questions. That's it. And then a couple of questions on ITTOs. The rest is just scenario-based questions. So on this one, it's just about finding the keyword. And I was sure most of the time, but I wanted to be certain. So I kind of flagged quite a few questions. And then as soon as I go to the end, because Mr. Sami recommended that in about 3 hours, you should be able to, and then take time to go through. So I reviewed I marked a few questions, but I was reviewing and changing too many answers. And I kind of thought to myself, it was safer to kind of trust my first instinct as opposed to changing too many answers and compromising everything. So the coaching calls were very useful. The simulators were perfect, I would say perfect. And the mocks were excellent. So now one thing that I did was after all the practices in class, if I may put it that way, I printed all the reports. I printed all the report for the mocks and then the chapter-wise question and went through each and every one of the questions, the correct one and the wrong answers. And then to make sure I understand. And then most of the questions were identical to what was in the exam, the actual exam.
So a lot of questions were coming from the context there. And yeah, that was an interesting thing. This is an important thing to look into that. Okay, Mr. Sami, please, have any question?
Yes, Mr. Affiliation,
Yeah.
what about the eco? How relevant was the eco that we studied and the breakdown that we had done in our magic grid? How useful was it to find the keywords in the questions?
Because they didn't insist too much on the knowledge areas or the domains. It was just like a lot of scenario questions. You started a portfolio. There is a strategic change here. There are some new stakeholders that come into play. What do you do first? What do you do? And so on and so forth. And then there was some question about um, input and output. You want to create
Okay.
a strategic plan. What do you need? And then this is happening. They come up with an inventory of work. What are they trying to do? So this is how they use the eco. There were
Okay.
no very direct question. And then the mathematical question, I noted six mathematical questions, and very straightforward, like risk, ranking a few components, and choosing the correct component. And then that question where you have to add the ranks and divide by 3 to see which one, the number for the
Scoring,
component.
like
Yes,
the scoring, but all the mathematical calculations use the same formula that we have already covered.
correct, correct, correct.
Okay, very good.
And then
And
sorry,
yes, please continue. Sorry.
there went huge amount of lines in the questions.
Mhm.
There went too much writing, just like uh, one question that covered with 2 tables that covered the whole page. That's it. Apart from that, you got 2, 3, 4 sentences and then your 4 options, and then you're good to go. But like you said, most of the mathematical questions relate to everything that we've done in preparation.
Okay. And later on, once we covered the third edition, we
Mhm.
went to the fourth edition, and we
Mhm.
found out that there was some similarity and some different
Mhm.
tone in which it is written, principle based and the process based.
Mhm.
So, and surely we covered all in our course also. How will you rate the participation or the content in the exam from the third edition and the fourth edition?
I would say the third edition, because all the chapter-wise question that we got from the third edition, and then the mock that we got from the third edition were, well, I mean, I would say I don't notice, I didn't pick anything from the fourth edition. It
Okay.
was basically the third edition, the mocks, and the chapter-wise question. That's it.
But it is, at least it is worth to spend few hours on the fourth edition just to be confident that if any case anything comes, you are already covered. And also
Absolutely.
there is not so much difference, but I think reading the fourth edition actually helped us to understand the concepts also from the third edition. How would you rate it?
Because I mean, like as you mentioned just now, there were a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Just like a few add-on that were different in the fourth edition, but they were if I may put it that way, like a common trunk, and then they just went from process-based to something else. But it was relevant, totally relevant. So before I went, as per what you recommended, I done the work on the third edition, the mocks and the chapter-wise, and then I flipped through the fourth edition, and then that was that. Mhm.
Okay, good. Yes, Mr. Amir?
Okay. Uh, how many question capability and capacity had? Like capability and capacity topics. How many questions?
Maybe about in the answers, in
Mm-hmm.
about from the top of my head, about 5 or 6. About
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6.
5
Uh,
okay. Okay,
yeah,
that capability and capacity, Mr. Sami, that's more in the fourth edition, right? If I'm not getting it
Yes, correct. So
right.
actually the point is that once we sit in the exam, we don't really know from where it is coming. But
Yeah,
the
but
important thing
we know.
what I found is that the things which are common in both edition is
Uh,
shown in the exam.
Sure in that. Okay, so
At least this we can figure out.
that's a very good thing that we already have added those questions in the simulator. We have already added those questions in the coaching call. So when they go for it, they don't have such a big problem into that way, right, Mr. Sami? If I'm understanding.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that is something really awesome because let me add, because this is the most recent exam I gave for portfolio. I guess it's not been a year as of now. And when I was sitting like before Mr. Sami, you gave an exam in December, right?
Yes, right.
When
Yes.
I guess I gave in September or October, so I was looking there where these questions came, and when Mr. Sami gave exam, we made sure that thing happened there. So and he beautifully handled the coaching calls and added all those questions. Felician, this has been an interesting journey. You stand at the pinnacle with the first student who cleared from the batch, and on Friday the batch will be starting, and the batch two, it will be very interesting. Many of the students will be there who are right now in the coaching call. They will, you know them uh, personally, and I'm sure they will be reaching you out. Anyone has any question that you want to ask from Lycian? Now, we are not at the PGMP journey. You are meeting someone for the first time. You have been into many coaching calls with each other. I guess I'm the least person you talk to. If anyone wants to ask any question, please, you are feel free to ask. Okay, so Felician, how
Yes.
about the follow-up? Even Mr. Sami had been very busy with so many personal things, etc. But how has been the follow-up along the entire journey?
Very, 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 very useful. I
Mm,
tell you why, because as I was preparing, thinking about getting a date for the exam, well, you get, as you can see, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. You get that workload and that pressure. And then I was doing something in the afternoon, and Mr. Sami texts me how things are going. It boosts your morale beyond anything.
mm,
That little text, that how things are going into it boosts your morale beyond anything else, because it can be very isolating and isolated. So the follow-up is very, 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 very valuable. I would say precious, very, very precious. And
the-
then we have the group, we talk to each other, and so on and so forth. That is very, very important. Beyond going through the books and doing the processes in the mock, you need to have contact with your mentors, with your teachers, with your peers in order to keep going. So that's really, 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 really useful. So
That's
thank you for that. Thank
That's
you.
really useful, and that's one thing that we keep striving on making sure that we make sure that all the things that happens, and we can give you the best of the best, and we keep moving forward into that. Okay, so Mr. Sami, do you want to ask any other question?
No, but it's only for Mr. Felician, as you are the founder of our portfolio. So surely we will be in contact. It is not the end for
Absolutely.
you. You have much more steps to go with in your career. We wish you all the best. We had a great learning experience in PGMP and now in portfolio. And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Amir, I would like to add one thing. What I personally feel that most of our students are our certified PGMPs who are now coming to portfolios. So
Mhm.
it means that the thing that the text that we are covering, the relationship that we are building is really, really good. So I think that is a very good indication that if the students are coming back, so we will try our best to give them the best. And I'm very hopeful that in month of May, we will have much more portfolio certified also.
Thank you very much. And I wish you best of luck, everyone, and looking forward to record the journey of all of you. Thank you. Felicia,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure
Thank
you
you
will
very much.
session with Mr. Sami later on, and
Mhm.
Sami to continue build into that system. And do send me a good picture of you, latest one. I will put it as a journey today.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, everybody. And before we go, please, anyone that is in the class who has any questions, do not hesitate to contact. I'm kind of going to talk to Mr. Sam in a few minutes and give as much feedback to help as much as I can. So thank you so much and speak again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.